She walked into the enemy's hands. She discovered their secret. She came home. Her city won. And then the river goddess named her price. This is the final part. She did not sleep. Not because she was afraid. Not because she was grieving. Not yet. Not in the way grief arrives when something has already happened. She was awake because sleeping felt like wasting something she did not have enough of. One more day. The river goddess had given her that. Not because goddesses are merciful, because the debt had a shape, and the shape required one day of preparation. She watched the dawn arrive. She had watched many dawns, in the palace, in the enemy camp, on the road running home. This one was different, not because the sky was different, because she was counting them now. She had one task today, not to prepare the ceremony, not to inform the priests, not to say goodbye to the king. She would do all of that. But the one task, the one that mattered, was to spend the day with her son in a way that gave him everything he would need for whatever came after. Not a sad day. She had decided that, in the hours before dawn, whatever this day was, it would not be a sad day. Oluorogbo did not know what sadness she was carrying, and she was not going to put it down in front of him. She had decided, not a sad day, and it was not. She watched him eat. She watched him talk. She watched the way he used his hands when he was explaining something. The same hands that would reach for her when he was afraid. The same hands she had held when he was small enough to fit entirely in her arms. He talked about his friends, about a game he had been playing, about something a servant had said that he found funny. She listened to all of it, every word, not performing attention, the real thing. The specific attention of someone who has decided that everything this person says today is worth more than anything else that could claim her focus.
And then Adiwali said that it wasn't his fault, but it was. Mama, it was definitely his fault.
I believe you.
She laughed with him that day, not to give him a memory of her laughing, not as a performance of happiness for his benefit, because he was funny, because he had always been funny, because she loved him with the specific, unreasonable totality with which mothers love their children. The love that does not require a reason or a justification. The love that simply exists the way the river exists, always there, always running, incapable of stopping.
Look, Mama, it's the color of you.
The color of you, a river stone, dark mahogany, smooth from years of water running over it. She closed her hand around it. She kept it. She braided a small coral bead into his hair that afternoon. The coral from her own beads, one piece, removed from the strand, worked into the braid at the nape of his neck. Something of her going with him. He did not ask why. He was used to his mother doing things with a purpose she would explain later. Later never came. But the bead went with him. She felt him breathe. In, out. In, out. The most ordinary thing in the world. A child breathing on his mother's lap. She memorized it. The specific weight of him. The specific warmth. The way his back rose and fell under her hand. Small, steady, alive. She had saved her people. She had done what she set out to do. And on the last afternoon of this particular life, she sat under a tree with her son sleeping on her lap, and she let herself feel all of it at once. All of it. She told him that evening. Not the full theological weight of it. Not the sacrifice, not the cost. Not the promise made at the river before she walked into the enemy camp. The truth, in the shape a child can carry. She told him, the river goddess Ezenmarine had helped Moremi save their city. In return, the goddess needed someone to be with her, to be hers, to live in the river and be part of its keeping. She told him, the river goddess had chosen him, not as a punishment, as a specific choosing. The goddess wanted him, particularly and specifically, because of who he was. And she told him, she would come to the river every day that she lived. She would hear him in it. He would not be far. He would be in the river, and she would always know where the river was. He was quiet for a long time, not afraid, thinking, the specific thinking of a child who has been told a true thing by someone they have always trusted to tell them true things.
Will I remember you?
Will I remember you? Of all the things he could have asked, of all the fears a child might carry into the unknown, the one he carried was about her. She was her mother's daughter and her city's queen and the river goddess's debtor. She had been composed through all of it. She held herself together for this answer too. For him. Because he needed her certain, and she was going to be certain for as long as he was looking at her.
You will remember me. The river will remember for you.
Okay, Mama. I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid. He said it the way children say the truest things they know, simply, without drama, as a fact he had checked and found to be accurate. She held him, for a long time. She held him until it was time. The torches had been lit along the path to the shrine. The king's order, his only contribution tonight, that she would not walk in darkness, that the path would be lit, that she would be seen. She did not drag her feet. She had decided in the hours before dawn. Not a sad day. This was not a sad walk. This was a mother and her son walking toward the thing she had promised, and she was going to walk it with her back straight and her head up and her son's hand in hers, so that the last thing he felt from her was not grief. He walked beside her, not because he did not understand, but because she had given him a truth he could hold. The river goddess had chosen him. The river would remember for him. His mother would always know where the river was. He had checked this truth in the hours since she told him. He had turned it over, the way children turn over the things adults tell them, looking for the place where it stops being true. He had not found that place. It was still true all the way around. His mother had never told him an untrue thing. He trusted the river. He trusted her. At the entrance to the grove, the torches stopped. The fire did not enter the shrine. She and Oluorogbo crossed the threshold together. The king stopped at the boundary. This was as far as he could go. She knelt before him, not as supplication, as presence. She wanted to be at his level. She wanted the last thing he saw of her face to be her face, not the top of her head, not her height above him, her face level with his, looking at him directly. She memorized him one last time, not the way you memorize something you are afraid of losing, the way you memorize something you already know you will carry with you for the rest of your life, whether you try to or not.
You are the bravest thing I have ever made. The river will be good to you. I will find a way to hear you in it.
I know, Mama. I'll listen for you too.
I'll listen for you too. He was 7 years old, and he had just understood something about love that most people spend their whole lives working toward. He walked to the river, without looking back. He had learned that from her. She watched him walk to the river. She did not follow. The river received him. And then, he was gone. She stood there for a long time, not crying, not collapsed, standing. The way she had stood in the council chamber when no one was answering. The way she had stood in the enemy camp when no one was watching her watch them. The way she had stood at the same river before she left, making a promise she would keep no matter what it cost. She had kept it, and now she was standing, still standing. They called her the savior of Ile-Ife. They sang her name in the streets. They would sing it for 1,000 years. She stood in the middle of it, receiving it, not absent from it, not numb to it, present, because what she had done was worth honoring. She knew that. She had always known that. The knowing of it had not made the paying easier, but it made the honoring real. Her city was free. Her son was in the river. Both of these things were true at the same time. She could hear the river from where she stood, or she told herself she could. She had done what she set out to do. Her people were free. Her son was in the river, and she would carry both of those things for the rest of her life. She came back, not to offer, not to pray, just to sit. The river was just a river now. No ripples where there was no wind, no voice from the water, no signal that she was heard. Just water, over her feet, running. She listened anyway. Every morning for the rest of her life, she came to this river. And she sat. And she listened. She said she could hear him. Whether you believe that is your own business. He honored her before the full city, not as the king honoring one of his people, as one person acknowledging what another person had done and what it had cost them, and saying publicly that the city knew, that he knew.
Moremi Ajasoro, savior of Ile-Ife. The city will remember. We will remember.
The savior of Ile-Ife. That was the title. That was what they gave her. That is not what she was. She was a mother who saved her city. Those are two different things. And she carried both, the public title and the private cost, for the rest of her life. Ile-Ife was free. The Ugbo did not come back. The granaries filled again. The children stopped being afraid of the new moon. And Moremi Ajasoro, who had done all of that, went to the river every morning and sat with her feet in the water and listened. They are still singing her name. 1,000 years later, they are still singing her name. The Edi Festival, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Every year, her name, still in their mouths. But listen, this was never a story about war. This was a story about what a mother trades for her people's peace. Remember Moremi Ajasoro. She gave them everything, and she gave it willingly. That was the true story of Moremi Ajasoro, queen, spy, mother, savior of Ile-Ife. She lived in the 12th century. They are still singing her name. If this story moved you, share it with one person today. Not for the channel, for her. She deserves to be known by more people than history allowed. This is FolkloreAfrik, and Africa has never stopped telling its stories.